Yes, good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, may I audible to you? Okay. Uh, so today we are going to discuss about that is some numericals on the NMR, nuclear magnetic resonance. So you can ask any question telling page number and the question number. I can take that question number. In the last lecture, we have taken some numericals on the NMR. So there we have seen some questions. Now here we'll take some question from each type. Okay. So if you have book, then you can open your book and you can also check. So page number 136. Page number 136. So they can ask, write down the definition of the chemical shift. The position of the NMR signal from the TMS is called as a chemical shift. Then coupling constant J, the distance in the multiplet is called as a coupling constant J. Then indicate the different sets of proton for a molecule. So question number 3. So they have given the example, and you have to tell the number of equivalent proton. Okay. So the example is here CS3 and CS3. Just you have to tell me the number of the signals. Yes, number of signals, number of or different sets of proton. Anyone you can tell me.
Two signals.
Two signals. So due to 6 hydrogen, you get the one signal, and due to 4 hydrogen, you get the another signal. So this 3 plus 3, they are equivalent. So total 6, and these are the hydrogen. 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4. So all are equivalent. So due to 6, you get one signal, and due to 4, you get the one signal. You know the benzene will appear at near about 7.1, right, delta, and this CS3 when directly attached to the benzene nucleus, so generally it will appear at 1.1 something like this one. So leave out the value. Okay. The next one, the example is, that is also you have to indicate the number of protons. So here I will take only one example, and then again you can take one more example, and then we can go to the other type of the examples. Yes, how many sets of how many sets of protons are there in this example? So this is your example 1, this is your 2. How many sets of protons are there? CS3 1. Yes. Yes, Srushti, bolo. Okay. A, B, and C. So there are the 3 sets of proton. Okay. So this CS3 and this CS3, they are different. Why? Because their environment is different. Now you can tell me the number of equivalent proton in this molecule. All the example you have taken already while learning. Okay. So this is your example, and here is your CS2, and this one. Yes. In this example, how many sets of protons are there? Yes, we can tell. Yes. Here is a nitrogen. Here is CS2. Okay. So all hydrogens, they are same. CS2, 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 and CS2 means due to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 into 2 means 12. Due to 12 hydrogen, you get the one signal. Okay, so in this way you have to find out the sets of proton. So in your book also they have given the example, so I think you can see the sets of proton. They have given the more examples, so they will ask one question always on here, the sets of proton. So in question number 1 they have given the sets of proton. Then question number 2 they have given the example, and they're asking how we can differentiate between the PMR or NMR. Example is CH3, then C double bond O, and then CH3. Okay, and you have to differentiate between CH3, C double bond O, and here is a H. You have to distinguish by using the NMR. Sometimes they may also ask by IR, NMR, like this one. Now tell me how we can differentiate. Okay, so here is the acetone and here is the acetaldehyde. You have to differentiate by using the NMR. So simple, you have to see the example. In this example, you will see that in the NMR, you are having how many signals in A and B? Yes, in A you are having one signal, right? You are having the one signal, and in B you are having two signals. So by using signals, you can say that this is acetone and this is your acetaldehyde. Why? Because due to 6 you get the one signal, and here due to 3 hydrogen you get the one signal, and due to 1 hydrogen you get the another signal. Okay, so the next example here again I will take one and then we'll go for the next one. Even you can tell me question number, I can take that one also. So I'll take last one in the question number 2. Here is you have to differentiate by using the NMR, CH3, C double bond O, then CH2 and CH3. Okay, and other example is CH3, CH2, CH2 and OH, right? So the number of signal 1, right? In this case, here's a 1, 2, 3. There are 3 signals, A, then B, and then C. 3 signals. Okay, there are the 3 signals. And in this case, here is A, B, C, and D. There are 4 signals. So by using the number of signals, we can say that whether this is your so here we can say whether it is which compound. Okay, so in this way they can also ask to differentiate by using this NMR or IR. Now we'll take the another example. In this another example, question number 3, suggest the structure of compound having the following PMR characteristics. So here they are given the PMR data. Question number 3, they are given the PMR data and they're asking find out the structure. Okay, so for this one more than one structure may be also possible, right? So number A, so C2S6O, and with single peak, means you are having only one signal, right? You are having only one single peak. Means what it indicates? It indicates that all the hydrogens they are same. All the hydrogens they are same. So what are the possibilities that we can write by using the concept of isomer number? But correct structure we can find out. So firstly you have to find out the site of unsaturation. Site of unsaturation. So you know when there is a oxygen or a sulfur, so we have to omit this oxygen or sulfur, and we have to convert into corresponding saturated analog. Here is a 6, here is a 6. Okay, C2S6, and then we have to convert into corresponding alkane. So C2 developed to 4 plus 6 means here you are having a only 0 hydrogen. 0 means you are having 0 site of unsaturation, right? 0 site of unsaturation. So you have to write structure in a such a way that it should not contain double bond or maybe triple bond or maybe a ring also. Okay. So here the here we have to find out the structure of the compound. Okay, we have to find out the structure of the compound. Now it do not have site of unsaturation. So what is the possibility here? You are having one signal, means you have to write the compound in such a way that it should have the all protons. So from above data we can say the possible structure of the given compound is, here is CH3, here is a O, and here is a CH3. There are 2 carbon and there are 6 and 1 oxygen, means it do not have the, that is the site of unsaturation. Okay, so in this way you have to, just by trial and error method you have to go. And so it requires some practice. You should know also the concept of isomerism and the structure also. Then here is example C3H3Cl. You are having 2 peaks. Means 2 signals, right? You are having the 2 signals. When you are having 2 signals, then what it indicate? That there are 2 sets of proton. So firstly what you have to do, we have to firstly find out the site of unsaturation, right? Firstly find out the site of unsaturation. So you know the example that if there is a halogen, then you have to replace by the hydrogen. Okay, C3H3 and Cl, it corresponds to C3H4. Why? Because we have replaced the halogen by the hydrogen. So when you replace by the hydrogen, then it becomes C3H4. Then you have to convert into corresponding analog of alkane. So C3 develop 3, 6 plus 1, 6 plus 2, 8. So it comes C3H8. Then we have to subtract C3H8 and C3H4. So it comes 4 hydrogen, and you have to divide by 2. So it comes 2, means it have the 2 side of unsaturation. So you have to write the structure in a such a way that it must have 2 side of unsaturation, and here it will satisfy 2 peaks, right? So just by trial and error method you have to write, and from the above data you can say that the possible structure may be the cyclopropane. It may be the cyclopropane, and on each corner there are hydrogen, but here you can write the double bond, right? And here you can write, here is a H and here is a Cl, right? So 1 pi bond and 1 ring means 1 side of unsaturation, right? 1 side of unsaturation. And here due to 1 hydrogen you get the 1 signal, and due to 2 hydrogen you get the another signal. So this is one possibility. Can you write other possibility? We can check. So there are 3 carbon, means 1, then 2, then 3. So here is a double bond, right? And here you can write the other valency like this one, right? And here is a H, here is a H, and here is a H, and here is a Cl. So these 2 hydrogen they are same, this 1 hydrogen they are same, and here is a Cl. So it is also possible because it have the 2 side of unsaturation. So such type of structure is also possible. So we can write such type of possible structure. So here in this case they have not given the data, means only they have given the signal. This also give the signal, this also give the signal, means we can write the different possible structure also. Okay, now next example, I think you can write the remaining Examples. Okay, let us again take one more example. Suppose if you take the example that is C3H9N, C3H9 and N. Okay, so firstly find out the site of unsaturation, right? So how to find out the site of unsaturation? When there is a nitrogen, you have to replace by the CH, right? You have to replace by the CH. So the formula becomes C4H10. So corresponds to C4H10. So it do not contains any site of unsaturation. So zero site of unsaturation. Site of unsaturation. Right? Now it have how many signals? It have only one signal. It have only one signal. So it give the one signal. What it indicate that all the hydrogen they are same. Then just by trial and error method you can write the structure. So there is a nitrogen. So there is a nitrogen, and here is a carbon, carbon, carbon. There are the three carbon. So CH3, CH3, and CH3. So all the six hydrogens they are same, they are equivalent. So you get the one signal. So in this way you can write the number of signals. Okay. So in this way you have to write down the number of signals. So this is your question number 4. Then let us see the question number 5. In the question number 5 here, explain the following. TMS is used as internal standard in the PMR. So TMS is taken as a standard in the TMS, tetramethylsilane. Tetramethylsilane, here is a silane, right? And here is a tetramethylsilane. Here is a CH3, here is a CH3, CH3 and CH3. Okay, so why it is taken as a standard in the NMR? So you know that this is a scale for the NMR, and this is a downfield magnetic field, right? So in the magnetic field, what you do? So magnetic field, and from left to right it will get increased. So it is a low magnetic field and is a high magnetic field, right? It is observed that whatever O-ring compound they are known to us. So this TMS, it appear at highest magnetic field, and remaining all they will absorb below that one. So you take it as a standard, and we take it as a zero, and we take it as a zero, and then our scale start 1, 2, 3, 4 like this one. And the distance from this TMS is called as chemical shift. So one reason means remaining all O-ring compound they appear below the TMS, and again you are getting singlet in this TMS. You are getting singlet. So due to 3 plus 4 means 12. Due to 12 hydrogen, you get the singlet. So you are not getting doublet. You are getting the singlet. Means you want single peak. So that's why it is also important. And again, the boiling point of this TMS is very, very low, right? So what happen? Suppose if you want to take the spectra, then we have to dissolve into the solvent. And of course, this is also one more itself a solvent. So most of the again more compound they get dissolved. Means there is no need to use also some other solvent also. So when it get dissolved in the TMS, and here this TMS due to 12 hydrogen you get the singlet, and as we dissolve into TMS, and as its a boiling point is low, as soon as we take the spectrum, when you put sample tube at a room temperature, the TMS get evaporate as it is having the low boiling point, and you are getting again the compound. So recovery of the compound is possible. The recovery of compound is possible in this case. That's why the TMS is taken as a standard. Okay. Then next one, only one, the B. You can check the book also. You can see number of also examples for this one. Now B, only one signal appears in PMR spectrum of acetone. However, isomer propanol shows three signals in PMR. So what it tells that only one signals appear in the PMR for the acetone, and its isomer, that is the propanol, CS2, CS3, CS2, C double bond O. It gives the three signal. So only one signal is appear, and here you are having the three signals, right? Why they are asking? The just again you have to tell the same thing, that in acetone all the six hydrogens they are equivalent. So due to six hydrogen you get the one signal, but in case of propanol you are having a three sets of proton. So due to three you get the one signal, due to two you get the one signal, and due to one you get the one signal. That's why they appear in this way. Then PMR spectrum of paraxylene shows two signals, right? Paraxylene, you should know the structure of paraxylene. This is the structure of paraxylene. Paraxylene, here there is a benzene, and at para position there is a methyl group. So methyl toluene is called as a xylene. Methyl toluene is called as a xylene. Orthoxylene, metaxylene, and a paraxylene. So here the xylene is a para. Okay, so you get the two signals. Why? Because due to 6 you get the one signal, and due to 4 hydrogen you get the one signal. Okay, then spectrum of ethanol, the signal of CS3 group split into triplet having the relative area 1:2, 2:1. So here they have given, so they may ask in objective all these things, right? So the spectrum of ethanol means CS3, then CS2 and OH. So they are asking that the CS3 it get split up into triplet and having the relative area that is 1:2, 2:1, right? Why? Because of course due to CS3 you get the one signal, but it gives a triplet. Why? Because the nearer carbon contains how many hydrogens? 2. So it undergoes splitting R plus 1, where R is the number of a nearer proton. Okay, and the intensity or the of this peak, they are in the ratio R plus 1 to the power, that is the 2, right? That is the 2. So it is equal to A square plus 2AB plus B square according to the Pascal triangle. Here the coefficients are 1, then 2 plus 1. So this is the relative strength of relative area of that peak. So in this way we can give the explanation, right? So this is the question number 5. Then let us see some questions from the 6. So in between, if you want to ask any question, just you tell me that we would like to discuss so and so question. You can solve the remaining questions yourself. If you are getting the difficulty, you may also ask in the lecture also. Okay, so here I will take some examples. Now question number 6. Always they ask such type of questions. They will give the data, combined data. As you told, we know that we should know UV, IR and NMR. So they have given the molecular formula. The molecular formula is C3S6O, right? Then IR they have given 1710 and 2720 centimeter inverse, and PMR is your that is 9.77 delta due to one hydrogen, and you are getting a singlet. Then this is A, this is your B, 2.5 delta due to 2 hydrogen, you are getting a quartet. And signal at 1.2 delta due to 3 hydrogen, you are getting a triplet. So the data is given, and you have to find out the structure of the compound. So this is a very important questions. They ask 3 questions on there, and they'll give the data and you have to write down the structure. Now here, firstly, you see the data and try to find out which signal that you know. Look here, the formula is C3H6O. They have given the IR at 1710. It indicate it will at due to CO group, and 2720 means it is due to CH of aldehyde, right? And of course, there is singlet due to one hydrogen at 9 means maybe aldehyde, and remaining one you can write like this one. Okay, so here the first point that you have to write is site of unsaturation. Site of unsaturation. So the formula is C3H6O. If there is oxygen and sulfur, you have to remove the oxygen and sulfur. It will become C3H6. It will convert into corresponding saturated analog. Double of 3 6 plus 2 8. So 8 minus 3 is equal to 2 hydrogen. You have to divide by 2 means you have one side of unsaturation. So this one side of unsaturation, it indicates that it may be the carbon-carbon double bond, it may be the ring, one ring like this one. Okay, now next one. Now look here, you can whatever things you know that you have to write, and if you don't know, leave it. So here you can start from the NMR, you can start from the PMR. Even though if you don't know IR, even also by using the PMR also you can write the structure. So whatever things you know, you can write IR at 1710 centimeter inverse indicates presence of a carbonyl group, right? Presence of carbonyl group, right? Number 3, IR at 2720 centimeter inverse indicates presence of aldehyde group C double bond O and EH, right? So this two information you can get, and here it also satisfy the site of unsaturation 1, right? Now number 4, then PMR. You can write in your word as you wish. So you can write singlet at 9.77 delta due to one hydrogen indicates presence of. So what look here, singlet and at 9 means maybe aldehyde. So and due to one aldehyde means due to one hydrogen means there is a hydrogen which is directly attached to the CO group. So presence of aldehyde. So all this above data indicates it have the aldehyde. Now number 2, quartet, right? The quartet. So here is a 5th quartet at 2.5 delta due to how many hydrogens? Due to 2 hydrogens. It indicates that the 2 hydrogens, they are equivalent, right? They are equivalent. So we can write that the 2 hydrogens, they are equivalent, right? And you are getting quartet. Quartet means 4. Right? So as the quartet means 4, it indicates that the nearer carbon contains 3 hydrogen, right? The nearer carbon contains 3 hydrogen means you have to just subtract 1. So the 3 can be possible like this one. So there may be presence of CH3. So such type of skeleton may present. Okay, and last one here is this one. So triplet at 1.2 delta. So here they are asking that triplet at 1.2 delta due to 3 hydrogen. So look, due to 3 hydrogen indicate that the 3 hydrogens, they are same, they are equivalent. It means you can write the 3 are same. And you are reading triplet. Triplets means 3. Means the nearer carbon contains 2 hydrogen. So we can write there is a presence of CS2. So here the NMR gives the idea that it may contain CS3, CS2 and CHO. So we can write from the above data, right? You can write from the above data, from above data, the possible structure of given structure will be what it will be. So we can join the fragment. So here, of course, it contains CS3, it contains CS2, and of course it contains aldehyde. That means C double bond OH. You have to check the molecular formula. What molecular formula tells? It have the C3S6O, right? C3, the molecular formula is the C3S6O. So there are 3 carbon, 1, 2, 3, 6 hydrogen, 3 plus 2, 5 plus 1, and oxygen 1. It have the one side of unsaturation up. So here, this is the correct structure. And if possible, try to label the value like this one. Here it indicates that they are at 2720 centimeter inverse. It indicates that they are at 1710 centimeter inverse, right? So and remaining one, if you are able to write, then you can also write. Okay, so here singlet, this value is due to 9.77 delta. This this CS2 due to CS2 2.5 delta, 2.5 delta, and here is due to 3 hydrogen, and they are at 1.2 delta. So if you are able to write such type of values, write down. Otherwise you can write only the structure also. So in this way you have to solve the question. Okay, so here I have written in detail only one question. Remaining one we are not writing in detail like this one. So we'll take the another question, right? And if you want to ask any other question, you may. The molecular formula is C3H5ONIR, that is 2250 centimeter inverse. Then PMR, here is a singlet at 3.49 delta due to 3 hydrogen, and a singlet at 4.22 delta due to 2 hydrogen. So firstly find out the number of hydrogen, whether they are same or not. Okay, so there are the 5 hydrogen. So here 3 plus 2 5 means the question may be correct. So first you have to find out the site of unsaturation, C3H5O and N. Okay, so you know when there is the oxygen, you have to remove the oxygen, and when there is nitrogen, you have to remove by the CH. So it becomes C4H6 corresponds to C4 double of 4 8 plus 2 10 corresponds to 10 minus 6 is equal to 4 hydrogen divided by 2 is equal to 2 hydrogen, means it have the 2 side of unsaturation, right? It have the 2 side of unsaturation. Okay, now they have given the IR data, right? They have given the IR data. So IR at 2250 centimeter inverse indicates presence of, yes, who can tell first? IR at 2250 indicates presence of, when there is a IR, right? So here is a 2100 and here is a 2200, right? So you are getting a signal at 2250. It indicates presence of it, and it contains 2 sites of unsaturation. Yes, हाँ जल्दी से बोलो. It contains
Cyanide.
very good, right? So it contains cyanide, means there is a presence of carbon nitrogen triple bond. So in this way you have to write, right? Okay, so you must have some previous basic knowledge also, 1 then 2 then 3. Now we have taken the IR. Then here due to 3 hydrogen, you get a singlet at 3.49 delta indicates presence of, due to 3 means presence of CS3. you are getting a singlet, means the CH3 is directly attached to the carbon where there is no hydrogen. Or sometimes this carbon may be CO group, may be oxygen like this one, but it is directly attached to a carbon where there is no hydrogen. Okay, means CH3 group is there. Then number 4, here again due to 2 hydrogen, you are having a singlet at 4.22 delta. It indicates that again the CS2 group is there, but it is directly attached to either carbon or maybe other group where there is a no here maybe oxygen, maybe carbon, right? Means there is no hydrogen. Okay, so the data is finished. Now we have to write the structure. So from above data, the structure will be structure of given compound is, so what will be the structure? It have CS3, of course it has CS3, right? Then it has CS2, right? It has CS2, right? And also it has cyanide, right? So you have to put the one more, that is the oxygen, right? How many carbons are there? 3 carbons. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 carbons are there. Nitrogen, 1 nitrogen. Okay, right? Only there is the oxygen. So you have to put oxygen in such a way that it should satisfy all these values. Means if you put the oxygen here in between the oxygen CS3 and CS2, so it gives singlet. It gives the singlet. So it gives the singlet. Also it gives the singlet. And the CH2 is directly attached to cyanide. Means this is the possible structure of the given compound. So you have to write down the fragment and you have to rearrange in such a way that it must satisfy the structure of the given compound. Any doubt in this case? Yes, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Should I take one more example, or we should take in the next lecture? Because it's 8:12. You have lecture at 8:9:20. So today again we'll take the practical at 2 o'clock. So if possible, I will give the demonstration of solid liquid and liquid. In your group, I have put the list of the experiments that has to be right, or even if you write more, no problem. So they have given their video, so check it video, you can and write corresponding experiment. Okay, so today this is the NMR. I think NMR is very easy. Only you should know the some basic concept, then you can solve any question on that one. There's no need to study. Just you make your concept clear, and then you'll experience that solving the NMR is very interesting. So you must know UV, IR, NMR. So in the next lecture, I will take some numericals, combine numericals, and if possible, in the next lecture, means tomorrow, will complete your syllabus, right? So you can tell me the page number and the question number that you have to take, right? So I'm taking some representative from each type. So at your home, you have to solve those questions. If you solve once or more than twice, right, then very easily you can write the answer of any question. It requires some practice. Okay. So tomorrow we'll take the last topic, that is the spectroscopic problems based on the UV, IR, and NMR. So just the combined problems. So means just it is a revision. Okay. Okay. If you want to ask any question, you may ask. Any question? No question. then let us stop here, right? So thanks to all, and you can leave the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks to all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks to all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks to all.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.